Hello, today we will be presenting our Science Explorer demo, presented by Josephine Robinson and Stephen Garcia. Our California content standard is KLS1-1, Plant and Animal Needs. Use observations to describe patterns of what plants and animals, including humans, need to survive. The objective of our lesson is students will identify and match key elements that various living things need to survive. The materials needed for our lesson will be Chromebook, Internet access, Google document, paper and pencil, Zoom access, link to the matching game for the Engage phase, link to the Google slide template, also part of the Engage phase, as well as a link to the Google form for the Explore phase. Some key definition of concepts. The rationale for these concepts are that students will be introduced to key content vocabulary to expose them to the terms that will be used in the lesson. Some of those terms are habitat, ecosystem, living, and non-living. A habitat is a place where animals live, Ecosystem, a community of living and non-living things. Living, things that cannot grow, need energy from the sun and water, and reproduce. Non-living, things which cannot move, breathe, grow, and reproduce. Moving on to the Engage phase. 1. The Engage phase is meant to snag the student's interest, offer opportunity to share what they already know. The driving question for the Engage phase is, why is it important for animals to have the right place to live? In this phase, students will gather on the carpet and respond to the driving questions. Following this interaction, we will then have students practice matching animals with their habitat and the places it could live best using the matching game below. Here is a picture of what the habitat game looks like. So as you can see, animals will click on one of these animals and try to match it with the habitat. And they have 7 choices to select from.
Thank you, Josie. So now we're going to move on to the Explore stage. So one of the questions that students are going to focus on for the Explore stage is, where is it that animals live? Which is a huge part to their survival and them being living. And so one of the ways they're going to do that is a pretty fun activity where students are going to design a habitat for the animal that they chose in the last stage. So if we click this link down here, it's going to take us to a Google drawing sheet. And instructions are on the left side, and the boxes to do your work is on the right side. And so what it says is students are going to decorate this box, the top left box, and it's going to be the habitat that the animal would live in. And then the top right is going to be the food that the animal eats. This box is the characteristics, and this is a sentence why they chose the animal that they did. And so if students don't want to do it online, they can always print this out, or the teacher can, and then they can draw or cut and paste from like a magazine. But if they're going to do it online, the best way to do this, and you can actually show students an example, is they get pictures from Google and they just drag and drop. And so here I have a horse. If I chose a horse, I can decorate the habitat there. I might drop another one of these in for the food. And that is an example that students can see. So right after that, students can share their projects with the rest of the class. They can do this on Zoom, or they can do this at the front of the class if they're in person. And then for assessment, not only are you going to have the student work samples, their Google drawing sheets, but you can also observe them while they share with the rest of the class. And that's it. So thank you guys.